Morning children, I hope you have seen the previous video of the new chapter 6, the national movement during the First World War. Right children, and before starting with this, with the title of this chapter, I have given you an explanation about the Lucknow Pact, right? What factors were responsible for the formation of Lucknow Pact in the year 1916? Why was it formed? And what were the significance of this pact? Now, just a little bit intro is that here, this pact involves the unity of Hindus and Muslims, though they never come in reality. Everyone knows because this pact was into a drawback, and I've already explained you what kind of drawbacks had the Lucknow Pact. Right here, the drawbacks like they have introduced the concept of separate electorate, both Hindu-dominated body, Indian National Congress, and Muslim-dominated body, Muslim League. Right, they have introduced a communal veto, right children. Then they have introduced in Lucknow Pact the separate electorate. That means Hindu candidate would be voted by Hindus and Muslim candidate would be voted by Muslims, right children. Result in the drawbacks of Lucknow Pact. But if you see, I already explained in the previous video, like from outside Britishers were quite scared, like because why? They were involved in the First World War with Germany, right? And Germany at that time was a very powerful country, and it was a time of the First World War that was started in the year 1914, right children. And here Britishers position was very nervous, was very shaky, was very disturbing position, and obviously they wanted the Indians conditions to be according to their own rules and regulations. But here something, Indians were totally against the Britishers right now. Why? Because Muslims were angry because in the First World War Britishers attacked Turkey, and Turkey has joined the hands with the German forces. That's why Britishers attacked Turkey. I'll be explaining you in depth in the next chapter, right children? So here, if you remember, like Muslims started coming towards, Indian National Congress, Muslims backed body, Muslim League, right children? So all these things you people know in the previous video, what kind of conditions was going on during that time period in India, right? On one hand, Britishers involved in the war, in the First World War. On the another hand, Lucknow Pact was formed, and that was quite a setback for the Britishers. Why? Because Britishers wanted to create divide and rule policy, and here in this pact, everyone started coming together. Though we know this as a reader, we student know this, right? They never come in reality, right children? But obviously Britishers were quite scared because of their unity and their attitude, right children? So here again, this video is in continuation with the previous video. I'm going to explain you more factors, right, and what happened, right? Because Lucknow Pact literally was in a drawback, right? It was a failure, right children? But somehow its significance was very important, right? So let's discuss its significance, right? Let's start now. Now, if you see impact or significance of the Lucknow Pact, the very first point says, children, it was an important step on the road to Hindu and Muslim unity. Somehow, children's Hindu and Muslim unity was maintained over here, right? And why? Because how? If you remember, like Muslim League, started drawing towards Congress, right? Earlier they were a separate wing, separate body. Now they started coming together. How? Because their objectives were same. They started asking and demanding. These both bodies started asking and demanding for self-government, right? So somehow Hindu and Muslims unity started, started being created in India, right children? And next, if you see the unity between the Congress and the Muslim, between early nationalists and the assertives, nationalists demoralized the government of India. Somehow if you see like Annie Besant, the contribution of Annie Besant, like she started brainwashing assertives and moderates, and she wanted both these factions of Indian National Congress to come together and present the common demands, right? Like earlier I'm again simply again repeating the points. Like if you see in Surat split, here these early nationalists or moderates and assertives were totally separated their ways. Why? Because their differences, their methods were totally different, right? And because one wanted Swaraj within the British Constitution, another wanted Swaraj with a strong protest. So this was something they never cooperated with each other. That's why they parted their ways for 9 years, right children? But in 1916, Annie Besant started brainwashing, started explaining them the concept of the unity, and with this they started coming together in Indian National Congress, both the wings, right? Early nationalists and assertives, right children? And if you see the pact led to the gradual development of self-governing institution. This Lucknow Pact has started demanding for self-governing institution, like government elected by the council. But obviously, and who forms this government? The public, like Indians wanted the representation, right? So this sort of self-governing institution, started gaining ground, started gaining momentum in Indian freedom struggle, right, children? So these self-governing institution, right, paved the way for India's freedom struggle, right, children? Another significance of Lucknow Pact, right? Now, if you see Home Rule League, another body, children, hit Britishers like anything. Why? Because still the First World War was going on, right, children? And First World War ended in the year 1918. That means they were in the midway, right? It started in the year 1914 and ended in the year 1918. Why I'm telling you this? Why? Because Lucknow Pact was formed in the year 1916, right? So somehow Lucknow Pact had created pressure in the minds of the Britishers कि now Hindu and Muslims started coming together. Though you know and I know, they never come in reality, right, children? Another body which was formed by Indians was Home Rule League. Home means India, rule over home, right? Rule over India. So League is the body. So here few Indians came together, right? And the leaders were Annie Besant and Bal Gangadhar Tilak. They formed this body to to demand for what? The self-government. So let's see what is it body of what is this all about. Let's see now. The First World War broke out in 1914. During the early stages of the war, Indian leaders fully cooperated with the government. So it was broke out and Indian leaders felt it was unhealthy, or maybe at that time they didn't want to show the protest. So they started cooperating with the British government by giving them men money, by cooperating them with men, money and resources. Though they don't need cooperation, Britishers didn't need cooperation. Why? Because they forcefully they can take men, money, resources from India. So somehow Indian leaders bared this, right? Next, let's see now. As the war continued, our leaders grew impatient and began to agitate for reform. So as the war started, going, obviously it's never ended, right? Because still the year is going on, right? It's still not ended, and our leaders, they were very angry. Why? Because Britishers didn't accept their reforms, their demands, right? So our leaders thought this was the best way to strike, right? This was the opportunity, the best opportunity for the Indians to strike the Britishers, right, children? So they started asking for more reforms, right? Let's see now. Mrs. Annie Besant joined the Congress in 1914. She made effort to unify the two wings of the Congress, right? Unify means united. The two wings of the Congress, children, I already explained you. Early nationalists and assertives. Then Tilak joined the Congress session 1916, and the very first of all, the best thing happened was what? Ki Bal Gangadhar Tilak, children, returned from Mandalay. If you remember, children, Bal Gangadhar Tilak was sent to Mandalay, right, by the Britishers. It is a place in Andaman Nicobar Island, a totally a secluded island where Indians were held captive, right? They were imprisoned for years, right, children? So he simply came back from this Mandalay, right, and he joined with Annie Besant in formation of Home Rule League. So maybe you can say that another great blow to the Britishers, right? And obviously a positive point towards the unity of Indians, right, children? See now. She had developed theme of home rule in India and derived inspiration from Ireland. And obviously this home rule league, they simply have taken this concept from Ireland. Right, children? In Ireland, they have already formed such type of body. And obviously Annie Besant has taken the inspiration from Ireland in forming this body, Home Rule League. Let's see now. Now what happened? What is Home Rule League now, children? In September 1916, a Home Rule League was formally inaugurated by Mrs. Besant in Madras, present time Chennai. Past, maybe it's a present name, Chennai, right? But past it was called Madras. And here Mrs. Annie Besant, she has formally inaugurated Home Rule League. Children, in the same year, Lucknow Pact was also formed, so don't get confused. These two bodies, really, develop unity among the Indians. Lucknow Pact and afterwards Home Rule League in the same year, 1916, right? And these two bodies, by formation itself, had given a great blow to Britishers. Why? Because Britishers were nervous and they were involved in the First World War. So their position was really now, disturbing positions now. They really want some cooperation from their side. Right, children? Now, what happened? Another Home Rule League formed in Pune in April 1916 by Tilak. So both have started working and spreading the Home Rule League in all over India. Right, so Maharashtra and central provinces was taken over by Tilak, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. He was an assertive. I've already explained you the contribution of Bal Gangadhar Tilak in the previous video. So if you want, you can refer to my previous video as well. Right, children? And the rest of the India, Home Rule League would be spreaded by Annie Besant. Now, aims and objectives of Home Rule League, let's just see now. Self-government, government by councils elected by all people, right? So, self-government, they wanted the self-government. Now, which kind of government they wanted? They wanted government by council, the body, right? Elected by the people, but Indian people elect their representatives, as I already explained you. Next, they use constitutional methods. Now, here one thing more, children. Now, because they were asking for this self government, right, by forming Home Rule League. So they didn't want any show any protest towards the Britishers. Why? Because Britishers were involved in the war, and somehow Indians thought ki if they cooperate with the Britishers, maybe in the future some positive results may happen. Right, so that's why they use the constitutional method. Constitutional method means they use prayer, request, right, the method which was earlier used by the moderates, right, children. Next, see, they revived the Swadeshi movement, and during this period again they started using Swadeshi goods. In the same way, in partition of Bengal, the way they spreaded Swadeshi and boycott, in the same way in Home Rule League they spreaded Swadeshi movement, children. Swadeshi homemade goods. Next, participation of women in large number. Another important contribution of this league was what? Here women participated a lot, right? So somehow the unity started coming in India, right, children. Let's see next. Now the August Declaration. Now out of this, now children, be very active here. Now after seeing the formation of two bodies back to back, first Lucknow Pact in the year 1916, and Home Rule League in the year 1916. Here the August Declaration was I cannot say formed. Here the declaration was was simply proclaimed in the month of August, right, children. And what is it all about? Here the Britishers were so nervous by seeing these two bodies back to back that is simply declared in the month of August that they would give the Indians a self-governing institution once the war will get over. Right, children, stay very active. They simply promised to the Indians, and they declared in the month of August, known by the name of August Declaration, that they would give them self-governing institution after the First World War will get over. Right, till then they want an efficient, they want an effective cooperation from Indian side. So this they simply promised to the Indians. Right, children? So if you see, on 20th August 1917, Mr. Montague, the secretary, made an important announcement. The policy of Her Majesty government was a gradual development of self-governing institution. He simply announced that they would give them self-governing institution, which Indians has been demanded for years, children. If you see, during the formation of Indian National Congress, they demanded, right? Next, all local bodies and district boards should contain elected majorities. That means they started appointing more Indians in the local level bodies. They mean to say that, right, children. So this declaration was really accepted by Indians, and they were all very happy. Somehow Britishers were nervous and they accepted, right? And simply British promised them under August Declaration that they would give them self-governing institution once the war will give over, right, children. Let's move on to next slide now. Here, Government of India Act 1919. Now, children, again, Britishers have shown the true nature. Now, in the month of 1917, they declared, right, they would give them self-governing institution. Pay attention, children, here. Now, what happened in the year 1918? The war ends and Britishers won the war against German forces. Everything I'll explain you in my coming videos, right, children, how they won the war and all. Now Britishers won the war. So now when they won the war, so obviously they again try to show their true natures to the Indians now. So what they did, after winning the war, they simply again formed one more reform known by the name of Government of India Act of 1919, children. 1919, or else you can call this reform as Montague-Chelmsford reform, right? And what this reform says, see, transferring some power to Indian at provincial level. They simply promised in this reform that they would transfer some power at provincial level. Though in this reform they have not given the self-governing institution which they had promised in August Declaration. So again they have shown their true nature, children. They again ditched the Indians, right? Next, the act divided provincial subjects into two parts. Then again, under this reform, they said, okay, fine, provincial level, we are dividing subjects into two parts, right? The very first subject transferred, which covers public health, local self-government. Next subject would be reserved, which would cover law, order, police and revenue. This new system of a government is known as diarchy, government by two authority. This was known as the system of diarchy. Right, children? The Congress at its session of 1919 denounced the reform as inadequate, unsatisfactory and disappointing, and simply Congress ministry was very, very angry. They didn't expect this, right? Ki after winning the war, they try again to show their loyalty, these Britishers. Now they won the war now, right? So this Government of India Act 1919, it was totally rejected by Indian National Congress and Muslim League, right? They were very angry. Why? Because Britishers didn't give them what they promised, that self-governing institution under this act, right, children? So this is something Britishers shown their true nature. And if you again recall my previous lectures, if you see, they would have easily taken the advantage of the First World War, and Indians would have come together and attacked the Britishers. But here, Indians have shown this sympathetic attitude, right? And they simply cooperated with the Britishers. This was a mistake they made. And what they did, what Britishers did, after winning the war, they simply formed the Government of India Act of 1919, where they kept the reforms according to their own convenience. They wanted to transfer some power, but Indians rejected, right? And in this reform, they introduced the system of diarchy, right? Don't get confused. Diarchy they introduced, right? Diarchy means division of subjects into two, transferred and reserved. Like if you remember, children, in civics chapter, in under legislative power of the parliament, I explained you the subjects: union list, state list, concurrent list. In the same way, the sort of a subjects, right, they made, and Indians totally rejected this, totally neglected this, right, children? Because they never come to know what is it all about, right, children? Okay. So this way we have come to the end of the video. I hope you people have understood what is it all about, children. Like what happened in the national movement during First World War, why Indians came together under Lucknow Pact, another home league founded by Annie Besant and Bal Gangadhar Tilak, right, children? And obviously the war won by the Britishers, the First World War, right? So do listen to this video and previous videos attentively. You will get everything, right, children? Thank you.